Hi guys, and welcome to thefightnerd.com. I'm Phoenix Carnevale, and I'm here with Yoram Gazit, who's put together basically in a crazy weekend. It's sort of the fantasy for everybody who's either an MMA fan or an MMA fighter. Yoram, tell me about the Paradise Warrior Retreat.
The Paradise Warrior Retreat is like a training camp, but it's also a fantasy camp. And probably it's the only sport in the world where you're able to do it, to bring all the top guys in the same field and put them together under the same roof. I mean, if you try to do it in boxing, I don't think there's any chance you can get even one or two boxers to come and share their knowledge, you know. But MMA people is very unique group of people. And when I started it and I approached certain of the fighters, everyone was responsive.
Yeah.
And we started it 8 years ago, and now we're 8 years later in the Enzo Gracie Academy.
So what makes you put this together? I mean, where did the idea come from?
I was in the military, and really I was craving the feeling of the camaraderie
Okay.
more than anything, because I was around fighting, really fighting, but for me it wasn't so much the fighting, it was the feeling of camaraderie and the special spirit that come out of warrior being together.
Well, who do we have this year?
This event, we are doing it in Enzo Gracie. So first of all, he's a legend. We have Enzo,
Right.
and for me to come to Enzo Academy is like
Yeah,
it's a big step. And we're having Rob Kaman, who is a 9-time kickboxer and a Muay Thai champion.
The Dutchman is his
The Dutchman,
name, right?
yeah. Some people consider him the best ever. And we have Firas Zahabi, who trains St. Pierre, and Rory McDonald.
Right.
We have Rory McDonald is upcoming, is fighting BJ. And
Yeah, that's gonna be a great
very
fight.
exciting fight. And we have Igor Gracie and Frankie Edgar.
Yeah. You know what I find really interesting is when you were doing the opening ceremony, you said MMA is pure, right? And I think a lot of my friends that look at me like I'm crazy because I love this sport. Like, what would he mean pure? What do you mean pure?
The pure is that it's the people who fought in the first of the MMA is really they went there for pure. I mean, it was clean. You know, there was no much money in the sport.
Right.
But these people really loved it.
Yeah.
They loved it, not the banging but really to see who is the best, what
Right.
discipline is the best. And it's still pure, it's because it's still in the infancy of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's no much corruption that went into boxing later on.
Right.
And or there's no corruption at all right now. And also, when I dealt with all the big fighters, I mean, the way they welcome you, the way
Right.
they treated you, the way they assimilated, they're very open people and very unique people.
Why do you think martial artists are so giving?
I think it's part of the discipline, and there's a lot of, it's like almost Buddhist
Yeah.
feeling to it that you withhold with all pain. I mean, you withhold your own private satisfaction.
Right.
It's almost like a religion, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think in the martial art there's certain principle that make these people so giving. And also, if you look at fights, I mean, 90% or 99% of the guys, they finish killing each other, then they hug each other,
Yeah.
they kiss each other. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
To me, it's still amazing.
Yeah. So, what's your background in martial arts?
I was in a Shotokan karate, and then I did ninjutsu, and I did Wing Chun Kung Fu, kickboxing, and really in the last 10 years I'm more specialized more in Muay Thai and kickboxing,
Right.
and started. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of the sport.
See, I love guys like you that came from traditional arts and are open to go into MMA, because a lot of the people in traditional arts are like, they want to keep it traditional. What's the good thing about now MMA, and what's also the bad thing about MMA? Because sometimes it loses a lot of that traditional value system too. You notice that?
Right. Yes. Yeah, I think there was a lot of certain principle in karate, the bowing, and
Yeah.
a lot of the discipline that make you respectful, and you see it in jiu-jitsu as well. You know,
Right.
in the traditional sports.
And being a lifelong martial artist now, how have you seen martial arts evolve, and where do you think it's going to go?
I think it's a whole change to it, because I think think it was certain people who did it, but now it's like a trend. It's
Yeah.
like a social trend.
Right. Right.
People who are, I mean, I think
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
hopefully most of it is good,
Okay.
but also it's scary that also you have all society of fighters that you're breeding. You know?
Yeah. So what's the difference between a martial artist and a fighter then?
I mean, the guy who do, I think the guys who do karate and who do jiu-jitsu, a lot of them don't go to the ring, don't thinking. A lot
Right.
of the MMA guys, I think it's more, some of them more hardcore and they know they want to have a career.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So what do you want people to know about the Paradise Warrior Retreat?
I think the Paradise Warrior Retreat, it's a kind of fantasy camp. And it's a place for people really to chill out.
Yeah.
It's to train and chill out together because they see the fighters at the best and they're grabbing something. It's a spiritual thing and also I would say it's a basket of memories.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Did you have a nickname when you fought or when you trained?
Most of my training was the military. I was
Uh-huh.
in the military, so and there was no tapping out.
Okay.
So,
They didn't give you a nickname?
no.
All right, very cool. So we're here, we're at the Paradise Warrior Retreat. We're going to check it out. We're going to see what these guys do. It is kind of a fantasy for me too. I can't wait to see Rory McDonald and see what he teaches today. And thanks for tuning in.